Tesla stock down 3% today, but the news is actually pretty dang good. We'll talk about what's going on to Tesla and the broader markets here in this video, but let's start with your Tesla breaking news, and there's no shortage of it today. First up, Elon Musk says Tesla is an AI/robotics company that appears to many to be a car company. It seems like many of the bears have not even begun to realize this yet, and that's ultimately how Tesla achieves a 10, 20, 30 trillion dollar valuation in our lifetimes. Tesla's lithium refinery is starting to take shape. Tesla's senior manager of operations, Jason Bevan, said in October of last year, quote, "We will begin commissioning the assets roughly the first of next year. They will start ramping up production the later half of next year." This is another underappreciated asset that Tesla has that will help drive down cost in this year, which will help with margins improving. Tesla's Cybertruck is officially the most American-made truck overall. The Cybertruck has 90% North American parts, including 65% from the US and Canada, per Tesla's Monterey sticker. The Ford F-150 Lightning has just 38% US/Canada content, and the ICE version just 30%. Tesla sold 94,139 China-made vehicles in December, the second highest on record and the highest in a single month in 2023. Jefferies has raised their Tesla price target to $255 from $210 per share, an increase of $45 per share following Q4 deliveries. Jefferies says it's worth mentioning a surprising decrease in leasing adoption and better than anticipated other model deliveries. This could indicate more seamless ramp than initially anticipated in the implementation of 4680 batteries or the production of the Cybertruck. Jefferies says there were 4,757 more other models, which Tesla did not specify between Cybertruck and S and X, delivered then produced in Q4, which could mean either a big reduction in S and X inventory at year's end, conflicting with a 51% drop in estimated October through November US registrations, or possibly higher than expected Cybertruck deliveries in December, potentially surpassing 5,000 units, despite only 10 to 12 units reported on November 30th. I mean, holy crap. Jefferies is literally saying Tesla could have delivered 5,000 Cybertrucks. I think we all realize that's not the case. They've only been rolling out, as we know, to Tesla employees. But wow. Jefferies also says, quote, "High deliveries of Cybertrucks in Q4 may not help 2023 profitability, and we continue to see the vehicle as off mission. Still, it would suggest an earlier or smoother ramp manufacturing 4680 cells or trucks than feared." Truist Securities has also raised their Tesla price target to $228 per share from $226. India will launch a communication satellite using SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket this year, its first partnership with a venture led by Elon Musk. As you guys know, we are expecting an announcement in January for a production facility in India. This is going to be for your lower priced, maybe sub $20,000 Tesla, but definitely sub $25,000 Tesla. This is potentially the next big catalyst that could be right around the corner. The Indian facility is specifically one that some of your bears talk about. They want to see actually become a reality before they start to raise their price targets. These are your $60, $80, $100, $120 price targets. The bears of the bears that want to see an Indian factory. This partnership, to me, just solidifies a greater likelihood that we actually get the Indian factory announced here shortly. GM is going to offer a $7,500 discount on EVs that don't qualify for the tax credit in 2024. And here's a fun fact, Tesla opened an average of 30 new supercharger stalls per day in 2023. GM says they delivered a total of 19,469 EVs in the US in Q4, up 16% year over year. Nowhere close to Tesla's 38% year over year growth, but to see the consumer adopting EVs is still good news for Tesla. Ford has increased F-150 Lightning prices by up to $10,000 or around 18%. What's actually pretty interesting from this image is you can see the lower priced variants seen the largest price increases, whereas the Platinum Black or the Platinum or even the Lariat seen very small price increases or actually big cuts, like the Platinum seen a $7,000 reduction and the Platinum Black seen a reduction of $5,000, whereas the Pro, the lowest price variant, seen a $5,000 raise and the XLT had a $10,000 raise, which maybe suggests the consumer just really isn't going for the higher variants, the higher price variants, that maybe there's a lot of demand for the lower price variants, and that's what they want to focus on. And take a look at these images. We have about 8,000 new Teslas waiting to be shipped out of Shanghai. Q1 2024 could set up to be another impressive quarter for Tesla if this trend does continue. Bloomberg says in this article put out today that Tesla could be years away from launching a $25,000 vehicle because Elon Musk himself apparently stymied work on the project. Elon Musk says, quote, "We are not going to design some sort of amphibian frog that's a halfway car," Isaacson's quotes Musk as saying in August of 2022. "We are all in on autonomy." I think over the last 12 months, Elon has really came to realize we need that $25,000 vehicle. I mean, after all, Elon recently gave us a timeline to some degree. We know Giga Mexico is probably going to be done by the end of 2025. It should be operational around that point. And Elon said, well, it's going to take too long to get Giga Mexico operational. They're going to start building the $25,000 vehicle in Texas. So we kind of have a timeline here that it's not going to take years, at least as we hope. Gary Black responds to this article from Bloomberg and says $25K next-gen vehicle has to be the highest priority for Tesla. Tesla owner Silicon Valley on X says FSD beta drives are getting boring because I'm having perfect drives. More and more drives are having zero disengagements. Tesla is leading the way on general autonomy. Elon Musk says version 12 is next level. He continues to double down that version 12, well, basically implying that this should be your next final stop for autonomous vehicles. That opens the potential door for robotaxis, which I guarantee you is not on anyone's radar for years. Tesla stock is seeing some massive option activity today from hedge funds and institutions. You have seen 859 orders totaling $3.62 billion with a positive order value of 53%. $3.62 billion, that's an insane number for Tesla option activity on any given old Wednesday. After all, I mean, Tesla stock is getting flat out disrespected today, down about 4%. Tesla is really getting grouped in to small cap stocks. Small cap stocks getting crushed. Oh my gosh, the carnage in small caps off the charts. Small cap stocks down about 3% if you're looking at the IWM ETF. This comes after the Fed minutes, which were released today. It's a big, long kind of report on what the Fed is seeing and why, and, you know, how they came to their decision at the last meeting. But I want to read you guys this one part right here. We're going to break this down in the next video coming out at 8:30 p.m. tonight. You have to watch that video. That is a must-watch video coming out at 8:30 p.m. tonight. But I will read you this, and I think it explains why small caps are getting absolutely pummeled. It says, as evidence for the softening of the growth of labor demand during 2023, many participants noted the decline in job openings and a few remarked on the lower quits rate. Several participants noted that the risk that if labor demand were to weaken substantially further, the labor market could transition quickly from a gradual easing to a more abrupt downshift in conditions. They're saying if we start to weaken in the labor market, we might just not stop. We might dramatically weaken into what could be a recession. Quote, it's possible that the economy could evolve in a manner that would make further increases in the target range appropriate. Several also observed that circumstances might warrant keeping the target range at its current value for longer than they currently anticipated. So basically what we just heard from the Fed that had the markets very bullish was maybe not correct. It's a lot of kind of conflicting statements that are in the FOMC minutes. That's why we need to go over it to kind of try to draw a narrative from it. On one hand, you have some Fed officials saying the labor market might dramatically weaken in a very short amount of time, and we could enter into what could be a deep recession. That's essentially what they're saying. Or, well, maybe the economy just holds up and we don't need to cut rates nearly as many times as we just stated at the last Fed meeting. So yeah, it seems like serious recession fears are here, or maybe the Fed just keeps rates, higher for longer. Maybe we don't get 6 or 7 rate cuts. The markets are still pricing in 6 rate cuts though, with 40.3% odds today. So although we heard this hawkish statement from the Fed, it's not really moving around Fed futures, but it is moving stocks. Holy moly, the Russell is officially dying today. We did get some pretty good data today. JOLTS job openings went down to 1.4 available jobs per worker. This number came in at 8.79 million. The estimate was 8.8 million. Again, if we go into a recession, you're going to see job openings fall before we see the unemployment rate start to rise, and we're not seeing that as of right now. ISM Manufacturing also reported a reading of 47.4, slightly better than expectations, but still in contraction. TLT is up 0.37% here today. That means that 10-year treasury yields are falling about 3.5 basis points again. This should be a boost to stocks. It's really, I think, recession fears that are causing stocks to sell off in this dramatic fashion. Oil, USO, is up 3.79% today. The dollar is up 0.5%. Typically, when the dollar rises, stocks fall, and that correlation remains true over the past 2 or 3 days now. And if you look at gold, gold's down about 1%, although I like this, it's still not great for the markets. As Adam says on X, the Black Swan event has arrived. Jim Cramer says he's extremely bullish for 2024. Well, yeah, we've seen how that has went so far. Global inventory numbers shooting up for the Model X as well as the Model Y, still remaining low for the Model S and the Model 3. Google Trends data also showing an uptick for the Model 3 and the Model Y, the Cybertruck staying flat at around 27. Tesla continues to run about 400 different ads via Google. The percentage of stocks above their 50-day moving average is declining about 2.5% today to 81.37%. And again, as I said, Tesla stock seen absolutely no respect today, falling under the 100-day moving average at $241.56 per share. We desperately need to talk at 8:30 p.m. tonight, Eastern Standard Time. What is ahead for Tesla and our broader markets? As you can see, the MACD is curling downwards. That is bearish. And the RSI is really starting to curl down. You are technically more oversold than neutral at this point. Let me know what you guys think about everything we discussed here in this video. Hit the like button as well as subscribe to the channel if you guys want to come trade with us. Check out that link down below in the description of this video. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.